It is just frustrating. Maybe show what is gonna make you baby, show what you're gonna make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, show. Why would I have to love you? You bring me down like it gonna fall. I see the ref-relection, someone else in your eyes. Welcome back, guys. My name is Today we are making a tutorial on BIGMAN Confused, because as you can see right here, you guys requested this routine, so I figured why not make a tutorial on it, and this is why I make this video. I hope you're all doing fine in these times, and also I just reached 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, so this is my 10,000 subscriber special, you can call it if you want. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for that, so thank you very much. If you haven't seen the routine Confused by BIGMAN, I highly advise you to watch that first. I will link that video down in the description. Let's get straight into the sounds you will need for this routine. So first off, you will need the kick and the pf snare, and also outward K, like I do a K outward from the sides, on both sides. So air like flowing on the sides of my tongue, keeping my tongue up, I don't know. It's just outward K. I think that's pretty basic and straightforward. And combine that like, it is just frustrating. Baby, show what is gonna make you. You'll also need the throat bass. To make the throat bass, if you can't do it already, you can check out the tutorial I made on the throat bass. It's pretty old, but still applies, I think. I will link that video down in the description. Notice in like this routine, your throat bass gotta be pretty high, like so it might help to like practice your throat bass in like higher pitch. I'll type the throat bass in capital letters, except for Y, because Y will be the siren. But all other capital letters except Y will be throat bass. Like saying and and bo, bo, bo. That is basically making a throat bass O, bo, and then just making a regular O in your normal voice. Bo. And you will need yeah. So that's something you need. You will need the siren. If you can't do that, you can search up a tutorial for it. One very useful tip that I found for the siren is like widening your tongue very much. Like widening the tongue like out on the sides. So I kind of feel my tongues pressing here. Right below my teeth. So yeah, that's kind of like a useful tip if you want to get like a better siren, I think. It was actually the beatboxer Birdie that gave me the tip to like widen my tongue when doing the siren. So thanks for that and shout out to him. You will need the lip oscillation or the lip bass or whatever you want to call it, like that might be called the sub bass though, I'm not really sure, but I'm just making like a lip oscillation, but I'm like tightening it a bit more, so it's like and also remember it's vocalized, so it's not it's vocalized, so it's like I'm using a note in there as well. So I will type that like this, like you-huhu. So every time you see like two U's beside each other like this means. And yeah, you can add a kick in there like. And one thing you will need to be able to do here is baby, baby, baby. That's basically pf snare and then baby, and then doing this. Baby, baby. You will need the BMG snare. I have a tutorial for the BMG snare if you can't do it, so I'll link that down in the description. This is not with any lungs, so you can hum with it. And that's something you will need to be able to do, like humming with the BMG snare. Also with throat bass, like. You will also need to be able to say showr, showr. It's like show, and then you add a. That's basically like take your tongue, put it like, and then showr, showr, showr. Also, as you can see, I'm widening up my mouth when doing this. Showr, showr. You will also need to be able to like go up in pitch. I will demonstrate right now, like. Like. And that could be kind of tricky to do. I think that adds like very much to the routine, so in my opinion it sounds very good when you have it, but you actually, if you don't want to, you don't even need to have it in the routine. So first, when I practiced the routine, I didn't really learn this going to a higher pitch thing, but yeah, I added that a bit later. So yeah, you don't have to learn it right now if you don't want to. If you want to, you can go and check out my showgo tutorial or Showgo's own tutorial on this double voice, but I'm not really sure. Like this is simpler than the Showgo double voice. It's just I just feel some similarities. You gotta find that tone before you go up in the pitch. So if you go like you don't get the sound, so you kind of want to find that high-pitched tone before going up in that high pitch, like and this is my tone. One tip to make this sound is kind of go fast, like that's how I learned it. I just like went like try different tones, and finally I got and kind of going quick actually helped me a bit. It's basically a nose sound very much. This could actually be kind of tricky to learn, but if you want to, you don't have to learn it now. You can just do the routine, and you can just skip this or learn it later or whatever, because like it's just some parts of the routine where it goes up like this, but you can be like you don't have to do this fancy if you don't want to. Also, something BIGMAN does in this routine is like faoa, and there he makes that pitch increase or whatever you want to call it. So I will type this like increase of pitch with a hashtag like this. You'll need the inward click roll. If you can't do that, you can search up a tutorial for it. You will need the. So every time I type T, I mean, so not hi-hat, I mean like. You'll also need a lip synth. I have an old tutorial for the lip synth. If you want to check that out, I will link that down in the description. I will type the as a 0. Also, one little short pattern you can learn with the lip synth is and also BIGMAN actually uses this little sequence in other routines as well. Like this I here is throat bass. I like and also try to practice this, getting this I very sharp with the throat bass. That was kind of difficult for me. Like I was like try to get that that I, that letter, try to get that very crisp and very good, because I think it sounds better like. Also, one little sound that can be useful is the like saying FRR, like into your cheek. When you see this little symbol right here, that means breathing in, like. You might think that this is a very, very long routine, but it's not so long routine. He's just repeating the routine and like adjusting small things here and there. So the first part of the actual routine goes like baby, show what you wanna make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, show. When you see the I mean just saying N and the Siren. I actually don't have a lot to say about this pattern. It's basically just practicing it over and over and over again. Maybe practice yourself first before practicing with me. I don't know, maybe that's a bit easier. Or you can try to do it along with me or something like that. Whatever you feel is the best. Baby, show what you wanna make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, show. If you want to, you can play that back over and over again and like use like very slow speed, like clicking the cogs or the 3 dots or anything. And just make the video slower. The only thing I can think about saying here is like when you go to the shower, try to get that timing right. You don't want to go like shower, like you want to be like shower, like you kind of pronounce that breathing like very like clearly. Shower. So that's a thing you can think about, like get that timing right, like shower. The next part of the routine, like the direct continuation after the thing we just did, is this thing. Why would I have to love you, you bring me down like it gonna fall. So there are a couple of patterns here that could be useful to practice on their own, like so that M right there is just regular like humming. And also this pattern can be useful to practice like boom, boom. So it's basically just throat bass with a kick, boom, and then going back to like regular voice, and then that last like going up in pitch a little bit, so boom. Also something to note, this pattern comes back like here later in this little sequence here, and yeah, it's no in the end there. So yeah, the first time you do it, it's like, and the second time you do it, it's like, and yeah, that's no BMG snare there. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I will also do this a bit slow. So why would I have to love you, and you bring me down like it gonna fall. You can slow that down, as I said in the last part, and pause and practice yourself. So this is followed directly by this last part, and this is kind of the last part of the routine. If you learned this last part now, you basically got the whole routine. I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. Notice that I'm making the hashtag here. This means the increase of the pitch, as I mentioned earlier in the sounds. So this last part of the routine might be the trickiest, but I advise to maybe just hum. Just humming, like in your normal voice, like hum the whole melody here. Because if you gotta start somewhere, and like If you start with a melody, I think that's not too overwhelming. So you can even start without this. Keep it this same pitch, like. And maybe that even's hard, but yeah, I think you get it. And then you can add this like if you can do it like that, or just skip it. But then it's like I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So just try to practice humming this a couple of times, just get the melody down, like, yeah, just hum it. I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. After you're comfortable with just humming this with your regular voice, you can start to add the throat bass, like I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. Yeah, so that might be tricky, like your questions might be like, when do I add the throat bass and stuff like that, and how is that clear? I tried to make it clear in the notation here, but yeah, it might not be really clear, but like you can like memorize how it sounds by listening how I do it. If you feel it's unclear, like I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So I think that's a very good start. If you get this throat bass also down, that's really good. So just maybe pause the video and just try to hum this thing, like I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. I also want to mention that this is basically the same melody, but then cut it in half, and then you say this last thing, like I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So if you get this hum with the throat bass and regular hum down, now what remains is to add the BMG snares and also the so I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. Also this sequence of BMG snares, like that's basically what we're doing. That is kind of like a famous sequence of BMG snares. Like I have made that sequence of BMG snares, I think, in other routines, because I feel like I recognize it. So if you haven't like learned that kind of pattern, BMG pattern, maybe you can call it, that might help a lot when learning this last part, like. And then adding the. Like that's basically it, like. And then adding what we did before, like. If you put those together, you get. I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So yeah, that really helps. Just think like you add the with the and you add this thing together with if you put those two together, you get I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So right before the fifth, if you count like 5 BMD snares, you see it like right before the 5th BMD snare. That's when you go up. And now it's when you change to humming. So it's basically right before that BMD snare. So I'll do this one time slow, like. I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. Also notice that you can breathe here. You don't have to like hold your breath. Like it's a breath there, as you can see. I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So after you're done with this part, you're basically done with the whole routine. Now you repeat from the beginning, and also the singing is kind of different now because yeah, it's mixed up. So instead of why would I have to love you, it's why would I have a crush on you, and then instead of you bring me down, it's made me showr instead. So yeah, well, it's a bit of switching in the lyrics, but that will be clear when I make the whole routine myself, so you can see exactly how it is. When you repeat the pattern, instead of this last part, we're not gonna do BMD snares. Instead, we are going to make instead of the BMD snares. And then we're actually, when we repeat this thing, we're actually gonna switch to BMD snares again. So this might be a bit confusing, but like, it's like... I see the reflection, someone else in your eyes. So yeah, that's basically how BIGMAN does it. So like switching to F, I don't think that's way different. It might even be simple, like and then adding the I will do the whole routine now just for you to see like how everything hangs together and stuff like that, like how he's repeating and like everything in detail. You're gonna see like very soon, because yeah, I'm gonna make the whole routine myself. As usual, the Beatbox lyrics will be down in the description at the end of this video and on top of me as I go, so you can follow along if you want to. You can also click the cogs or the 3 dots or whatever to lower the speed as much as you want to while I go, so you can practice in your own speed. So let's get on with the whole routine. I'm gonna do it myself right now. It is just frustrating. Maybe show what is gonna make you baby, show what you're trying to make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, show. Why would I have to love you? You bring me down like it gonna fall. I I see the ref-relection, tomatoes in your eyes. Baby, sure, you're gonna make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, sure. Why would I have a question you? And you make me sure like it gonna faoa. I see the ref-relection, someone else in your eyes. Baby, sure, you're gonna make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, sure, yeah. Baby, sure, you're gonna make me see. I don't wanna see. Baby, showr. It is just frustrating. Baby, show what is gonna make you see. I don't know what we do. Baby, show. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to learn this routine, I hope this tutorial helped you and that you succeed in learning this routine. And also, thanks again for 10,000 subscribers. I'm really grateful for that. That means a lot. Without further ado, leave a like, leave a comment, share the video, and subscribe. My name is Kaby, and I'm out.